Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Smackdown review. No AEW Rampage review in this video here because Rampage will be on at 11:30 tonight. So I'm only covering Smackdown tonight. But Smackdown just ended. Smackdown tonight was from the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. And the show sucked tonight, in my opinion. The show was boring, in my opinion. What we got on SmackDown tonight? We had Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley versus Santos Escobar and Zelina Vega in a mixed tag team match. We had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Smiley Raquel, versus Tegan Knox and Emma. The winners will get to move on to a Fatal 4-Way tag team match at WrestleMania. We had Xavier Woods versus LA Knight. And then we had Sheamus and Drew McIntyre go one-on-one. The winner will get to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania because last week they had a match and it was a double win. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre end up both winning the match last week. So they end up going one-on-one tonight, to see who could face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. But overall, SmackDown sucked tonight. It was absolutely terrible. Very boring as well. But before I get into the review, if you guys haven't checked out my previous video that I uploaded earlier today, did a movie review of Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Saw it last night. So if you guys haven't checked out my review of that, definitely go check it out. It is up. So just want to let you all know about that. If you guys haven't checked out the video yet, if you guys haven't checked out the review, if you're interested in going to see Shazam, Fear of the Gods, this weekend or at any time. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. SmackDown opened up tonight with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came out. He walked down to the ring. The fans end up chanting for Cody. So Cody was asking the people in Kansas City what they want to talk about. He ended up saying that they could talk about WrestleMania. So Cody ended up saying that he has a lot of respect for the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. How he is the best champion in sports and sports entertainment. Cody ended up saying that he looks forward to seeing the Tribal Chief on Raw this Monday and beating him at WrestleMania. So the fans end up chanting for Cody again. And Cody ended up saying that he doesn't want to talk about somebody. He wants to talk to somebody. So Cody Rhodes ended up calling out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens ended up making his way out to the ring. And Kevin Owens got a pop from the crowd there in Kansas City. They were chanting for Owens. They were chanting KO. So Owens got on the mic. He ended up telling Cody he knows what this is about. So Cody then ended up telling Owens to hear him out. He ended up saying that he doesn't think this is a conversation between two people, and that it's a conversation that involves Sami Zayn. So out came Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn made his way down to the ring. Cody ended up saying that in the spirit of the road to WrestleMania, he has an incredible respect and love for Kevin Owens. He ended up saying 6 or 7 years ago when he told WWE, good luck in your future endeavors. He ended up saying it in a false sense of confidence. Cody ended up saying that he needed someone to have his back, and Kevin Owens introduced him to friends and bettered his livelihood. He ended up saying that it is a favor he can never repay, but he would like to repay it in this moment. So Cody then ended up telling both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that they are all here and to have the conversation. Basically, Cody Rhodes wanted Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to get back together so that they could take down the Usos. So the fans end up chanting, "Hug it out." Kevin Owens then ended up telling Cody that he has heard everything Sami Zayn had to say. Sami Zayn ended up saying that he hasn't heard everything Kevin Owens had to say. He ended up saying that he doesn't know what to say. Sami Zayn ended up saying throughout the years, they have turned on each other, but they have always somehow found a way to come back and forgive each other. Sami Zayn ended up saying that he can't understand why this time it's different. So he ended up telling Owens if there is something he has to say it. Sami Zayn ended up saying that if Owens has to hit him that way, they can get back to working together. So Kevin Owens ended up telling Cody that he came out like he asked. He ended up saying that he heard Sami Zayn out, and if he can leave. Cody ended up saying that they both know that they are in the people-pleasing business, and it doesn't matter what he wants. It's what everyone wants. And they all want to see both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back on the same page. Sami Zayn ended up telling Kevin Owens that everyone wants it. He ended up saying that if they can come together, they can do something magical. They can be the ones to bring down the ones. Sami Zayn ended up saying that he knows it might take years until this is totally repaired. But they don't need to do this as friends. Just work together. Kevin Owens then ended up saying that he has heard him say it for weeks. He has heard Sami Zayn say it for weeks. And that he just needs him to fight with him. That way, they can take the bloodline out together. So Kevin Owens ended up asking why he would fight with someone who doesn't want to be his friend. So Kevin Owens ended up thanking Cody for trying to do this, but he is all set. Kevin Owens ended up giving Cody the mic and then left the ring. And pretty much that was basically that. But overall, I thought this was a decent opening to SmackDown. I understand what Cody is trying to do here. He wants to try to get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back as a team for them to take down the Usos. But it's progressing. We're going to get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos at WrestleMania, where the titles are going to be on the line. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're going to dethrone the Usos at WrestleMania and become the new tag team champions, which I already know that's going to happen. And then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, we saw Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was about to get in his car when Sami Zayn ended up stopping him. Sami Zayn ended up saying to Owens what he said in the ring, he was wrong. He ended up saying to Owens that they will always be friends, and they are brothers. Sami Zayn ended up saying that if Owens never wants to talk to him again, that is fine. So Sami Zayn ended up saying to Kevin Owens he just wants to let him know that he loves him. So Kevin Owens got into his car and drove away. And pretty much that was basically that. That was what happened. But you all know that, when they do this, that they're going to come back. That Kevin Owens was going to come back and, save Sami Zayn, in the end. And then we had the first match of the night. The mixed tag team match. Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley versus Santos Escobar and Zelina Vega. And this was just a very meh mixed tag team match. So the match got underway with Dominic and Escobar. Dominic delivered a drop kick on Santos Escobar. Dom threw Escobar to the ropes, but Escobar ended up coming back with a flying forearm to Dom. Dom rolled to the outside, and in came Rhea Ripley. Rhea ended up going for a kick to Escobar, but he blocked it. So Escobar ended up holding Ripley's leg. So Escobar ended up backing up. Zelina Vega tagged in. She climbed up to the top rope with Escobar still holding on to Rhea's leg. So Zelina jumped onto Rhea, and then Escobar delivered a splash onto Dom on the outside. And then Zelina went to the top rope, and she delivered a moonsault off the top onto Rhea on the outside. And then pretty much SmackDown went to commercial. And then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Dom and Escobar were in the ring. Dom was in control of the match. He delivered some right hands to Escobar. He ran the ropes, and Escobar delivered a drop kick to Dom. Escobar then did a leg drop onto Dom, and Escobar ended up going for the cover. Rhea Ripley ended up breaking up the pin. Rhea then lifted Dom up and threw him onto Escobar. Dom ended up going for the cover, and Zelina Vega broke up the pin. So Dom was delivering some forearms to Escobar as he started taunting Zelina Vega. Escobar ended up throwing Dom to the ropes, and both Dom and Escobar collided in the middle of the ring. So then Zelina and Rhea tagged in. Zelina delivered a drop kick to Rhea's leg, which was followed up by a knee to Rhea's face. Zelina then ended up running to the ropes, and she ended up hitting a spinning DDT to Rhea Ripley. Zelina ended up rolling Rhea Ripley up, but Dom broke up the pin. Santos ended up getting into the ring, ended up hitting Dom with a knee to his face. Rhea then ended up throwing Zelina to the outside. Escobar placed Dom on the top rope. He ended up going for a suplex, but Rhea Ripley powerbombed Escobar off the top rope. Zelina went back into the ring. She ended up hitting Rhea with the crossbody. And then Zelina delivered a knee to Rhea's face. So Zelina ended up climbing the second rope, and she delivered a Hurricanrana onto Dom. So Rhea then came back, ended up hitting Zelina with the Riptide. She ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Dominic, Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley ended up winning the match. So post-match, Dom and Rhea end up standing in the ring. Dom got on the mic. He ended up saying that their WWE Hall of Famer, Rey Mysterio, his father, is nothing but a disrespectful deadbeat of a father. So the fans booed Dom. They booed him loudly. So Dom ended up saying that he was never there for him all those sleepless nights. So then we saw Rey Mysterio walking backstage, and then SmackDown went to commercial. But overall, this mixed tag team match was just very meh, in my opinion. And, post-match, Dominic got on the mic saying the same shit about his father. Oh, how, he's a deadbeat of a father, how he was never there for him. Same shit. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Dom and Rhea were still in the ring, and out came Rey Mysterio. So Rey ended up coming into the ring. Dom ended up saying that he actually showed up, and he went a lot of nights without a father. So then Rey got on the mic. He ended up asking Rhea Ripley if he can have a moment with his son alone. So Rhea Ripley then left the ring. So we just saw Rey and Dom both in the ring. So Dom ended up saying now that they are in the middle of the ring, he has time for Rey. So Dom ended up asking Rey where he was when he needed him, all those late nights. He ended up saying that Rey is so selfish, he took away his WrestleMania moment. And he ended up saying that at the end of the day, he is just a poor, pathetic excuse of a father. And the truth is that he is just a piece of, and then Rey ended up cutting Dom off. So Rey ended up telling his son that he is right and that he has not been the best father in the world. He ended up telling Dom that yes, he had missed birthdays, he had missed Christmases, he had missed graduations and football games. He ended up saying that he knows he hasn't been there all the time, but that doesn't take away his love for Dom. Rey ended up saying that he still loves him, and he is his world. He ended up saying, but soon Dom will find out that this business is selfish. He ended up saying that he made sacrifices so that himself, his mom, and his sister can have a life that he only dreamed of. He ended up saying all the fancy cars that he got, the fancy clothes, Gucci, Louis, Prada, Rolls Royce, all for Dom. And Rey ended up saying what would happen when he would get into trouble, when Dom would get into trouble. The Mysterio name would bail him out. So Rey ended up telling Dom, because he is having a hard time coping with all this, Rey ended up telling Dom that he is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he will love nothing more than to have him stand by his side on that stage. So Dom then shook his head. The fans were chanting, "You deserve it," to Rey. So Rey ended up saying that his biggest regret is what Dom has become. Rey ended up telling Dom that if someone like him, some ungrateful, disrespectful, pathetic, punk-ass kid called him out at WrestleMania, he would gladly whoop their ass. So then the fans end up popping for that. They all thought that, oh yeah, we're finally going to get the match at WrestleMania between Rey and Dom. But Rey ended up saying, unfortunately, he is his son, and fighting him would be his biggest disgrace as a father. So Rey ended up telling Dom that he isn't worth it, and that he won't fight him now, never, or at WrestleMania. So Rey then left the ring, as Dom ended up asking Rey why. Dom ended up saying that Rey is running away from his own son. He ended up saying, like he said last week, he is doing the only thing he taught him what to do, and that is what not to be, a scared little man. So Dom ended up telling Rey if that is all he has, and pretty much that was basically that. But Rey, still saying, oh, I won't fight you at WrestleMania. I won't fight Dom at WrestleMania. But we all know that that's going to happen. We all know that we're going to see Rey Mysterio versus Dom, father versus son at WrestleMania. And that'll probably be Rey Mysterio's retirement match. He's going to have his retirement match with his son. So as much as WWE wants to put off, with Rey going out there saying, oh, I won't fight you because you're my son. I won't fight you at WrestleMania. We all know that that is going to happen. We all know that the match is going to happen. But overall segment, it's the same thing. Dominic comes out there calling his father the biggest disgrace. Rey comes out, says words to Dom, saying, oh, I'm not going to put hands on my son. I won't fight you. And I won't fight you at WrestleMania. Same thing every single week we get. And then we had Raquel Rodriguez, Smiley Raquel, and Liv Morgan versus Emma and Tegan Nox. This was a showcase match. The winners of the match will go to WrestleMania, and they'll get put in a fatal four-way tag team match. And the match was just boring, in my opinion. Raquel Rodriguez comes out smiling, of course, aside Liv Morgan. So the match got underway. Raquel and Tegan Nox went at it. Raquel ended up throwing Nox into the corner, and Liv ended up tagging in. Raquel and Liv ended up double teaming Tegan Nox. Liv ended up delivering a kick to the side of Tegan's head. Liv ended up going for the cover. Tegan Nox ended up kicking out. Liv then grabbed Tegan, but Tegan delivered an uppercut to Liv Morgan, which was followed up by a knee to Liv's face. So Emma ended up tagging in. Emma and Tegan Nox end up double teaming on Liv in the corner. Emma ended up going for the cover, and Liv kicked out. So Emma delivered some right hands to Liv, which was followed up by a double underhook suplex. So Emma ended up going for the cover. Liv kicked out. Tegan Nox ended up taking back in. She slammed Liv face first onto the mat. Tegan ended up going for a suplex, but Liv ended up laying on her feet, ended up hitting Tegan with a backstabber. So Raquel and Emma were tagged in, and Emma delivered a clothesline to Raquel. Raquel then delivered a fallaway slam to Emma, and then she delivered a corkscrew elbow off the second rope. Raquel ended up going for the cover. Tegan ended up breaking up the pin. So Liv delivered the code red onto Tegan. Emma threw Liv Morgan over the top rope onto the outside. Emma ended up running towards Raquel. Raquel ended up catching Emma, ended up hitting her with the Tejada bomb. Liv ended up tagging in, and she ended up hitting the Oblivion on Emma. So Liv ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan end up winning the match. So they are going to WrestleMania to be in the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team match. And do I care? No. Boring match this was. Do we really need a Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team match at WrestleMania? Does that scream WrestleMania quality match? No. There's a typical Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. And then we had, oh God, show continued to get worse. We had Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, in the ring. Charlotte got on the mic. She ended up saying that the more things change, the more things stay the same. So Charlotte was talking about herself. You know, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Oh, about her being the SmackDown Women's Champion. She ended up saying that when she was a kid, it was a Rhodes as a challenger and a Flair as a champion. She ended up saying this WrestleMania is built as Rhodes as a challenger and Flair as a champion. Charlotte ended up saying that she is walking into her 7th WrestleMania, and she has always been the star. Yeah, she's always been the star because of her last name, Flair. She ended up saying that Rhea Ripley wants to be the champion, the star. But she can't be the star until she becomes the champion. And she can't become the champion until she comes through her. She ended up saying 3 years ago, Rhea wasn't able to go through her. And today, she can't go through her. Because the more things change, the more they stay the same. Of course, Charlotte talking about herself. So then out came Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley came out with Dom by her side. So Rhea got on the mic. She ended up telling Charlotte that she is 100% right. And that she chose Charlotte. Rhea ended up saying that she didn't choose Bianca because she has her reasons. But they will get back to that. So Rhea ended up saying that when she walks through the locker room, men and women, they all turn their backs and walk away because of fear. Rhea ended up saying that she is dangerous and good at what she does, and that everyone fears her, except for Charlotte. So Rhea ended up telling Charlotte that she is staring her down without an ounce of fear in her eyes. So Rhea ended up saying, to be honest, that pisses her off. She ended up saying that Charlotte is the SmackDown Women's Champion for a reason. And that she has been 14-time Women's Champion for a reason. It's because she is a superstar. And that she is one of the biggest stars in the company. And she can give her all the credit in the world. But the belt she wants. And she needs it. Rhea ended up saying that she doesn't only want to be a star, but she needs to be a star. So she ended up telling Charlotte after WrestleMania, Charlotte will learn to call her champion. and that Charlotte is going to learn to fear her. So then Dominic ended up telling Charlotte that Mammy will beat her at WrestleMania. So then Charlotte ended up going to slap Dom, and Rhea ended up hitting Charlotte with a right hand. So Rhea and Dom left the ring. Charlotte ended up running to the outside and threw Rhea into the barricade. So both Charlotte and Rhea started to brawl. We had officials coming out there to try to break it up. Rhea ended up throwing Charlotte over the commentary table. So Charlotte was on top of the commentary table. She jumped off the commentary table onto Rhea, and they both ended up beating up security that was out there. So both Charlotte and Rhea ended up fighting over the barricade. Officials were able to break up the brawl between the both of them. Rhea and Dom were in the crowd. So Charlotte got back into the ring, and then pretty much that was basically that. But overall, we got some backstory here between, Rhea and Charlotte, and it was a decent, little brawl between the both of them. I don't think the match deserves to be the main event of WrestleMania, in my opinion. But overall, it was an okay segment. At least we got, some backstory with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. And then we had Sami Zayn backstage. He was with Caleb Braxton. Sami Zayn ended up telling Caleb Braxton that it's a heavy night. And one guy who once considered him his brother drove off in the parking lot. And someone else who considered him his brother will probably knock him out in the ring. So he ended up saying when they tell him he is the problem, he starts to believe it. So Sami Zayn ended up saying that he is fine with what happens next. So that was what Sami Zayn had to say. And then we had Xavier Woods versus L.A. Knight. Yeah! And this was just a quick match here. LA Knight has been on a losing streak ever since coming off the Pitch Black match with Bray Wyatt. So the match got underway. Xavier Woods did a waistlock on LA Knight, but LA Knight ended up running, and Xavier Woods ended up slamming into the turnbuckle. LA Knight ended up storming on Xavier Woods, ended up throwing him to the ropes. LA Knight delivered a right hand, which was followed up by a DDT on Xavier Woods. LA Knight ended up going for the cover, and Xavier Woods kicked out. Knight ended up placing Woods on the top rope, but Woods delivered some right hands, and Knight was knocked off the second rope. So Xavier Woods ended up delivering a drop kick to Knight as he ended up going for the cover, and LA Knight ended up kicking out. So Xavier Woods ended up grabbing LA Knight. LA Knight delivered a neck breaker to Xavier Woods. He slammed Woods face first onto the mat. So LA Knight ended up going for the cover. Xavier Woods kicked out. Knight was going to go for a suplex, but Xavier Woods ended up rolling Knight up, and he ended up getting the win. So Xavier Woods ended up winning the match. Overall, this was a very quick match, and LA Knight is still on a losing streak after this. Man, like I said, ever since the Pitch Black match with Bray Wyatt, LA Knight has been losing and losing. You might as well just refer to him back as Max Dupree if you're going to keep having him go on this losing streak. LA Knight deserves to be booked better. You see how over he is with the crowd? LA Knight, he is a star. But with a shitty booking here, it's like they got nothing for him. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, LA Knight was backstage. And he saw Rey Mysterio signing autographs. Knight ended up telling Rey if he won't fight Dom, he will fight Dom and give him an LA moment. He ended up saying that he will be a deadbeat dad too. And so Rey ended up hitting LA Knight with a right hand. And pretty much that was basically that. And then we had Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. No one contender match. Winner gets to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. If you remember last week on SmackDown, which I didn't cover SmackDown last week, we had Sheamus and Drew McIntyre both end up winning the match last week. So we got a double winner. So we had, the match be a one-on-one between them tonight, which they announced, last week. So we had Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. They were in the ring. Imperium walked down to the ring. So we had Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, and Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. So they came out there. So the match ended up getting underway. McIntyre extended his hand, but Sheamus didn't want to shake McIntyre's hand. McIntyre threw Sheamus to the ropes. Sheamus delivered a shoulder tackle to McIntyre. Sheamus went to the ropes, but McIntyre ended up delivering a knee to Sheamus. McIntyre then delivered a snap suplex, and he ended up going for the cover. Sheamus kicked out. McIntyre locked in an armbar on Sheamus, but Sheamus delivered a hip toss to McIntyre. Sheamus then threw McIntyre into the corner, but McIntyre delivered an elbow to Sheamus' face. McIntyre then delivered the Michinoku driver, and he ended up going for the cover. Sheamus kicked out. McIntyre delivered a chop to Sheamus' chest, and Sheamus came back, delivered a right hand to McIntyre. McIntyre delivered a chop to Sheamus' chest again, and Sheamus delivered an Irish Curse backbreaker to McIntyre. Sheamus threw McIntyre over the top rope and onto the ring apron, and so then Sheamus went for the 10 beats of the bottom, but McIntyre blocked it. Sheamus then ended up bringing McIntyre back into the ring. He lifted Drew up on his shoulders, but McIntyre ended up pushing him into the corner. McIntyre ended up running towards Sheamus, but Sheamus delivered a double boots to McIntyre. Sheamus was on the top rope, and McIntyre delivered a right hand to Sheamus. McIntyre climbed to the top rope and delivered a superplex off the top rope. So both McIntyre and Sheamus, went down. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Sheamus delivered the 10 beats of the bottom on McIntyre. McIntyre was back in the ring. Sheamus ended up going for the Brogue Kick, but McIntyre ducked it, and McIntyre ended up hitting Sheamus with a neck breaker. McIntyre then ended up going for the Claymore, but Sheamus ended up hitting him with the Brogue Kick. So Sheamus ended up going for the cover. McIntyre kicked out. So McIntyre and Sheamus started delivering some right hands. McIntyre delivered the classical kiss headbutt to Sheamus. Sheamus came back and delivered a headbutt to McIntyre. So they ended up running towards each other. Both guys ended up hitting each other with some big boots. So the referee started, the count to 10. But Gunther got into the ring. Gunther ended up asking him who it is going to be. So Sheamus and McIntyre got to their feet. Giovanni Vinci and Kaiser attacked Sheamus and McIntyre from behind. So the referee ended up ringing the bell, who was Jessica Carr. She ended up ringing the bell. So the match ended up going to a no contest. So Sheamus then ended up throwing Giovanni Vinci and Kaiser to the outside. Gunther delivered a dropkick onto McIntyre and then a right hand to Sheamus. Gunther then powerbombed Sheamus onto McIntyre. So then Adam Pearce appeared on the Titantron. Pearce ended up saying last week, Gunther told him he wants an opponent at WrestleMania. So Pearce ended up saying that he is making it official. And Pearce ended up saying that Gunther will defend his Intercontinental Championship against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. Obviously knew that was going to happen, that we were going to get a triple threat at WrestleMania. Overall, it was a good little match between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, even though the no contest was obvious that they were going to book a triple threat for WrestleMania. And then we had the main event segment. SmackDown came back from the commercial, and Jay Uso was standing in the ring. And out came Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn ended up telling Jay that this is what he wanted. So Sami Zayn got into the ring, and Sami ended up asking Jay how he wants to do this. Jay ended up telling Sami that he has a job to do tonight, but he is about to hear this. Jay ended up telling Sami Zayn from day one he didn't like him, and from day one he didn't trust him. He ended up saying that he didn't want him around his family, but then everyone started to like him. Everyone started to like Sami, except for him. So Jay ended up saying that he always thought it was his job to protect his family, and the one time he let his guard down, Sami Zayn betrayed him. He ended up saying that Sami made him look stupid in front of the world, and that he called Sami his brother. Jay ended up telling Sami that he has always been a fake-ass oos since day one. He ended up saying that he had no choice. Sami Zayn then cut Jay off and ended up saying that he had a choice since day one, and that he loved him and the family, but he wasn't going to take that every week the way he does. Sami ended up saying that he doesn't think that Jay is mad at him, and that Jay is mad at himself. He ended up saying that he isn't mad that he hit Roman with the chair. He is mad that Jay didn't do it first. So Jay then delivered a right hand to Sami Zayn. Him and Sami started fighting. In came Jimmy, but Sami Zayn delivered some right hands to Jimmy, and then Jay ended up hitting Sami with a super kick. Sami Zayn rolled to the outside. Jay ended up hitting Sami with the ring steps. And then Kevin Owens' music ended up hitting. So Kevin Owens ended up returning. Kevin Owens ended up showing up from behind, and he ended up attacking Jimmy and Jay. Owens delivered a right hand on Jay, and then Owens clotheslined Jimmy to the outside. So Kevin Owens delivered some right hands onto Jay. Jimmy got back into the ring, and Owens delivered the stunner to Jimmy. Jay ended up running in. Owens ended up hitting Jay with a pop-up powerbomb. And so Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were the only ones in the ring. And the fans were chanting, "Hug it out." So Kevin Owens ended up hugging Sami Zayn in the ring, and that received a great ovation from the crowd. What a moment that was. Kevin Owens hugging Sami Zayn. And, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn reuniting. They're going to be taking on the Usos at WrestleMania for the titles. And if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win the titles and take down the ones, it's going to be an even more special moment. I mean, this moment was special here tonight, that what we saw with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn reuniting, hugging it out. It's going to be even more special if they win the titles at WrestleMania and defeat the Usos. But what a good moment this was tonight. And then it cut back to Cody watching from backstage, and he smiled, and he smiled because his plan worked out. He wanted to get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to reunite. So pretty much that was basically how SmackDown went off the air. Overall, this was good. Glad that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn reunited, and they hugged it out. That moment that the crowd popped for that was amazing, very special, and WrestleMania is going to be special for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. If they could defeat the Usos for the titles, which obviously that's what they're going to do. But overall, SmackDown just sucked tonight, in my opinion. Very boring show. But anyways, that's it for the SmackDown review. thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Be sure to check out my previous video, my movie review of Shazam! Fury of the Gods, if you guys haven't seen it. And I'll see you all later.